space and listening to this voice, you are tuned in to the best kept secret in sports talk. I'm your friendly neighborhood smoke, and you are officially on the hot seat. And what we do on the hot seat, we set somebody's ass on fire. And who are we setting on fire this week? Y'all bring Florida State ass in here so we can set some heat to them. Um, I don't even want to wait, man. Paying homage to the ghost over my left and my right shoulder. Listen, once the clock hit 000, y'all was waiting on the gospel, and god damn it, I am here to give it to you. Ding ding, classes in session. So I'm gonna take y'all back to the last time I spoke to y'all. Told y'all I didn't want to talk to y'all after the Southern Miss game because who the fuck wants to talk about Southern Miss? And I didn't anticipate having this discussion. But after the LSU game, I talked to you all, and the first thing I asked was, how you stop them? How do you stop this FSU offense? If you pay close enough attention to this show, you can probably see when I edit something, right? You can see when I take something out, or maybe you even put something in. I took the answer out. I gave the answer during that show, and I just removed it because I didn't want to be a negative Ned. I didn't want to rain on a parade that didn't need any rain, right? The answer I put into that show but then took out was Florida State. The only team I've seen thus far that can stop the Florida State Seminoles this season, to stop that offense, is Florida State. You saw that shit Saturday afternoon. Let me be very, very, very fucking clear with what I'm about to say. This team is mature. This team is seasoned. This team has a ton of continuity. This team has a lot of chemistry. There is no excuse for what we saw Saturday afternoon. And I saw all the shit after the game against Southern Miss. I saw all the comments, saw some videos, saw the tweets, listened to a few podcasts. I saw what everybody was saying. And I tweeted this. What I didn't understand was people wanted Florida State to be at midseason form in week 2. That ain't how this shit work, right? But I understood. I just said I didn't understand that. I understood it. People wanted Florida State to be at midseason form because they wanted to believe what they saw in Orlando wasn't a fluke. They wanted to fully buy into what they saw against LSU. They wanted Florida State to be at midseason form in week 2 because they know Clemson is on the horizon. As the weeks go on, and it's still early in the college football season, still in the first quarter of it, the schedule for Florida State is looking more difficult each week. Duke is better than what we thought. Florida is better than what we thought. Miami is better than what we thought. I could go on with a few more teams. Some teams don't look as good, but some of the games that we penciled in as W's, they don't look as W-ish as we thought. I said Florida State should go undefeated, and I'm still standing by that. But Saturday proves what I said the last time we all spoke. It's very, very hard to go undefeated in college football for a plethora of reasons, one of which you saw, or some of which you saw Saturday against Boston College. There are just things that happen inexplicably, that every team has to go through. No, regardless of how good or how talented a team may be, there are some things that are just head scratchers, and you saw a good bit of that this Saturday. My problem with it is, and you know what? A lot of times we put too much on coaches, because sometimes it just be the fucking players, and we'll attribute it to coaching, bad coaching, not enough coaching, not proper coaching, whatever you want to label the shit, we'll blame the coaches. That ain't this. A lot of what I saw Saturday was coaching. And what I told y'all, the one thing you are going to get tired of coming to this show this season is hearing the word expectation. I told y'all, every week, the expectation for Florida State are just going to grow. Regardless of who they're playing, the expectation is going to grow. And the one thing we didn't know about this football team, the one thing we didn't know about the person who leads this football team is how are they going to respond to the expectations. I've been on record saying I believe we have the right guy, Mike Norvell. There's just one thing I'm waiting to see until I actually give that stamp, that stamp of approval, until I'm able to say, hey, to where I can say confidently we have the right person. It's how he responds to expectations. It's how he responds to adversity. Saturday was a swift kick in the nuts. That Boston College team is bad. That Boston College team is really bad. It didn't look bad Saturday. And my issue with this is you'll read something, you'll see something, you'll hear something about a team down the road and how they looked this week and how badly they played these weeks in a row, right? And I've never been a person to buy into that bullshit. Well, hell, look at how Miami looked when they played this team. Oh, we're going to be a cakewalk when they come to Florida State. Or look how bad Florida looked. I don't care because one thing I know for fucking sure is that's not how they're going to look when they play Florida State. And it's head scratching. Again, it's something that's inexplicable that nobody can explain to me. Probably why it's inexplicable, huh? But how the hell? Because listen, if we're being clear, Boston College outplayed Florida State. They out executed Florida State, minus the penalties. They out coached Florida State. And they still lost. And that's probably the beauty of all this shit. Florida State came this close to having their season ruined. Ruined meaning how bad of a loss this is as far as what the expectations are and where everybody believes this football team can go. Florida State isn't a secret anymore. Florida State isn't flying under the radar. Teams that are ranked number 3 or number 4 in the country don't fly under the radar. So the expectations are what they are. If you were the 3rd ranked team, if you were the 4th ranked team in the country, that says playoff. So you're going to get everybody's best shot. Fine. I've been telling y'all till I'm blue in the fucking face about Florida State against running/mobile quarterbacks. And what y'all tell me? Every team that has a running quarterback, they're going to have some type of success. Great. That's true. I'll give you that. I agree. I have a question for you. For the people who think like that, for the people who've told me that, I have a question for you. How much success should they have? How much that kid, his second start, you trying to tell me a kid whose second short start should generate that level of offense against Florida State? Y'all want me to say nice shit about Alan Fuller every week. I got your ass this week. I dare you to ask me to say something nice about Adam Fuller this week. And I've been trying to pump the brakes on him, but I've told y'all since the front door, my issue with him is he is not a Florida State caliber defensive coordinator. He shows you time and time again. He waited to the 4th quarter, I say maybe late 3rd quarter, to finally turn on the heat, to finally make a goddamn adjustment. Why did you wait that goddamn long? Because you didn't respect the opponent. The entire team didn't respect the opponent. That's an issue. And I'm not here to talk about things schematically because I haven't rewatched the game, because everything I'm going to speak about right now had nothing to do with I don't need to rewatch shit. I know what I saw, right? I don't need to talk about X's and O's. I do know for fucking certain that Boston College team is not as good as they look. Boston College is like a goddamn top 25 team Saturday against Florida State. And it makes you ask. It begs the question, are these expectations too much? Are they starting to succumb to the pressures of being the 3rd ranked, of being a top 5 team in the country? Are they starting to succumb to the pressure of what everybody believes them to be? And with a game like that, my only worry is this. It has doubt trickled in. Because it wasn't a loss, but God damn it felt like one. Has doubt trickled in a sense of, are we really this good? You have to wonder, because these are kids who haven't really tasted this level of success at Florida State. A lot of them haven't. They had a good run last season, right? But there was a huge pocket last season where they didn't play well when it was time to play well. When it was time to put up a shut-up, they said nothing. So it makes you wonder, man, are we really that good? Let me tell you something. A truly confident team doesn't ask themselves that question. That level of doubt doesn't trickle. It doesn't penetrate into the minds of what they do day in and day out. and you don't want it to now. But that's just how bad they looked. Let me tell y'all something. Let's say you come in here, right? Let's say you break in my house. I wouldn't advise it because I'm gonna send your ass to God. Same day shipping. But let's just say you break in my house and I brandish a weapon. Hey, you stop. If I don't use it, it's not a fucking weapon. Explain to me Keon Coleman's number. Explain to me his numbers Saturday. Go on, explain it. Y'all DM me with all the goddamn answers. Go ahead. Some of y'all, I love getting, I love talking to y'all in the comments, but it's always one or two of you motherfuckers. I'd be like, why would you even type this shit and hit send? Explain to me his numbers. Because if you don't use him, he's not a fucking weapon. I remember when Florida State played Syracuse. I think it was Willie Taggart's first season. I don't quite remember. But I remember doing a show immediately following that game. But I remember thinking, because Harlan Barnett was a DC at that time. Florida State was subbing the entire packages for the defense. Because at that time, Florida State was so good on defense that they wasn't good. Florida State was so talented on defense, they were too deep at every position. And you would see when a new series would start, it would be an entirely different setup of defensive players, right? I'm talking about all brand new players. And I would wonder to myself, why the fuck do they keep doing that shit? Like, stop subbing so many goddamn players, right? And I'm not saying you don't want to keep guys fresh, but they were subbing so much. How the hell do you expect the guy to work up a ladder? How the hell do you expect the guy to get loose and get the jitters out and just want to play football when you keep taking his ass out? How the hell does he catch a groove when you keep taking guys out? Mike Norvell, listen, man, it's time to start questioning some of these personnel packages. I get it. You have a fleet of fucking receivers. Some of them should have DMPs some days. That's just what it is, all right? Because against LSU, those teams were so evenly matched. It's one of those games where the playmakers are going to have to win you the games, meaning we're going to execute better, and this guy's better than the guy in front of you. That's what you do, right? So you don't play 11 wide receivers. You don't play 19 goddamn running backs, right? You get your best, and you let them do what they need to do. Get your best, and you build these sizable leads. Then you get everybody else in there. You are trying to make everybody happy for what reasons I don't know. Because I'm telling you something. Some of them kids are going to transfer whether they play X amount of downs any fucking way. Whether they get X amount of snaps anyway. You are trying to appease children. And if what I'm saying is not true, explain Malik McClain. He got burned last year and he still fucking left. Right? Somebody, they're going to defect anyway, right? Do what you get paid to do. You don't get paid to babysit. You don't get paid to make anybody mad but the people, except for the powers that be in the goddamn fan base. Do what works, all right? And I want to see more Deuce Spann. I think everybody does. I definitely want to see more Winston Wright. I would like to see more of Destin Hill. Right now, you have two monsters on the outside. Get them the goddamn football. They should play a lot of the goddamn snaps. Coaching, I talked about this. I actually raved about Mike Norvell's ability to find a weakness and bludgeon it to death, right? If counter isn't working, what do you do? Okay, this defense has keyed in on stopping this. So we probably should take out this from the strategy, from our strategy and implement something else or change the personnel. The hot guy was Rodney Hill. How many touches did Rodney Hill get? Versus the guy who wasn't running hard, who didn't look to be playing hard. And the guy I'm talking about is Trey Benson. Nothing against Trey. I like Trey. I like Trey a lot. Saturday wasn't his game. And it was evident to see early on, right? Lawrence Toafili, I got beat the fuck up when I said this when he was a recruit, but I just didn't see it. I see it now, but not as a running back. I see him as a mismatch coming out of the backfield. I see him as a mismatch getting flexed out of the backfield. you're using him as a running back when you have other capable guys who are natural running backs who are better at finding a hole or better at finding a crease. I like him, but I only like him situationally. There were times in which I thought that you ran this play and he wasn't the person for that play. Mike is better than that. He's smarter than that. This team is tailor made for third down. I think Florida State was like 2 of 11 or 2 and 9 for third downs. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. That team is made for third downs. And I'm talking about third and short or third and long. And when I say third and long, I don't mean third and 8, third and 15. This team is tailor made for third downs. That was the beauty of it all. I thought, because to me, it's two things that defines how good an offense is. It's how you perform in the red zone and what do you do on third downs. Those are the two key components. Well, in the red zone, it's like Christmas morning. There are so many things you can do in the red zone because you have trees on the outside. You got Marquise and Douglas. You got Morlock, who's 6 foot everything. You got big guys on the offensive line. You got a fleet of goddamn running backs. You got a Swiss Army knife. We just saw him run the end around with Jaheim Bell a few weeks ago. There are so many things you can do in the red zone, right? On third down, you have a running back who's fleet of foot. You have, I don't want to call him a route demon, but he's clearly the best route runner on the team, and that's Winston Wright, who can get in and out of breaks, in and out of cuts. You got same two trees on the outside. I see you motion Keon Coleman a lot to create mismatches and tell you what the defense is doing. There are so many things that I'm not even mentioning that you can do on third downs. You have Lawrence Toafili, who puts a lot of pressure on a linebacker core or a safety. There are so many things you can do on third down. Explain to me how the hell you want to convert 2 of them. This shit is unacceptable, and it at the very least, it's inexcusable. Because I can understand you being excited about it. I can understand you not being as fluid in those areas as we would like because football happens sometimes, right? But only 2 against Boston College? The offensive line did not play well. I don't want to say they looked lethargic, but it's almost like they were playing in quicksand. They didn't look athletic. They didn't look very strong. When it was time to pull, they looked like they were running in slow motion. Offensive line didn't play well, and I told y'all one of the strengths should have been the offensive line due to the level of experience, but I also was worried about continuity. I said that, and I'm not saying continuity is an issue here, but I will say that they didn't look like it looks like they didn't play hard either. It looks like in some cases, I'm not gonna call out any names, some of those guys look confused. We really need Maurice Smith back. We definitely gonna need him back versus Clemson, man. This team shouldn't have looked like that. Give a damn who the opponent was. This team should not have looked like that. And you can say, I'm being too hard, or I'm looking at these things through a hater's set of lenses. I'm not hating on the goddamn football team. I'm just telling you, I saw the same thing you saw. You can look at it the way you want to, but the entire purpose of this show is to tell the fucking truth. It's to give you an alternative way of thinking, because I do believe that in the world of sports, things are geared towards making somebody happy. Like, people, when they speak to you, have an ulterior motive. They have sponsors. They have people they have to appease so they can't say certain things. You don't have that problem here. I'm going to say exactly what the fuck I want to, because look around. You think somebody's sponsoring this shit? I sponsor it. I pay all the goddamn bills here. You see this goddamn intro? There's very little money being spent here. I sponsor all this shit so I can say what the fuck I want to say. I can drop as many F-bombs as I want. I'm telling you that somebody needs to say this team got their ass whooped. The best part about it was they won. Because I don't think this team would have won a few years ago. I don't think this team probably would have won last year. But this team won. So if you want to find some solace in something, you can hang your hat on that. This team did win. And I sound like they lost because it felt like a goddamn loss. And listen, man, Adam Fuller, I tweeted this. Hey, buddy, don't make this third and Fuller a thing. We don't need this shit. We barely made it out of third and Kelly. I don't need this. I don't need this level of stress in my life. Goddamn quarterbacks who are starting their second game in college football should not be converting third and 15. You know what you can stop doing? You know what you can do for me? When you playing these mobile quarterbacks that I know you don't know how to coach against, or you don't know how to defend, stop using spies. All right? Play zone. Stop using spies. And I'm only saying that because the spies you're using, they don't know how to spy. It was evident for at least 2.5 quarters this past Saturday. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know if that's low football IQ or bad coaching. I don't have the time to figure it out. I don't get paid for that shit. You do. Stop using spies because the spies are not spying. You, that kid should not have looked that goddamn good. He had Florida State defense on skates, and that's not how that should have went. Florida State, he should have been bleeding out his fucking mouth by halftime. Florida State, it's like, you know what? We don't respect you. You ain't gonna do shit. We're just gonna rush forward and drop everything else back. Who the fuck you thought you were playing? If you give any quarterback time to sit around, he's going to find something or somebody. And that's what the kid did too many times. You got no fucking rush from that front four, which I don't know what's more concerning, not getting rushed with the front four and not being able to run the football. They are both equally as alarming, bro. Probably you can generate blitzes, so you can get it right. You can generate a rush with a blitz, but not being able to run the football like you want to. That's probably why Norvell coming up with all this bullshit. But anyway, getting off topic. You didn't start applying pressure late, and when you did, it worked. Wow, what a wild concept. And listen, I'm not one of those guys who expect the coach to be perfect. Any coach, coordinator or otherwise. I don't expect any coach to be perfect. I don't expect for you to do what I want you to do every week because you know more about what you're doing. Hence, you having a job and getting paid the amount of money you're getting paid. But some of these things, to me, they're evident, right? Some of this shit is just waving at you. And I think what he's doing against mobile quarterbacks is just sitting here waving at him. Third and 15, third and whatever, man. I told y'all last season I'm gonna pump my brakes on whatever my assessment of Adam Fuller is because he didn't have a lot of playmakers on defense. Well, you look at what he has this season at his disposal. I don't want listen. And you ain't got no excuse, man. You ain't got. And I'm not gonna give you one. You probably and it's not fair for me to say sit Kevin Knowles down because it's just one game, but here you are. You don't have the bandwidth to figure this shit out after a second or a third game, right? You need to make changes. You need to make adjustments when it's time to make adjustments. I'd much rather Conrad Hussey be in there than instead of Kevin Knowles because he made a play. That was about it. That was about it. He looked bad. Yeah, he looked bad. Some of your second teamers, they look bad too. And I guess you get better with reps. So it's probably Kevin Knowles' probably his first game starting at safety. So you're going to expect some of these mistakes. But whatever. I don't give a, I do not give a shit. Looking at that kid Saturday makes you wonder how good Cade is going to look when we go to Clemson this Saturday. Because Cade hasn't looked good all season. Listen, that boy sucked from Boston College. I don't remember his name, and I apologize to him, Castellanos. He sucked. He sucked. He sucked. He sucked. He didn't suck Saturday. I said this top of the season. Look at how good quarterbacks who are decent or quarterbacks who have talent, look how good they look against Florida State. It happens every fucking year. At some point, this shit has to stop because the last thing you want to do is give a loser some goddamn confidence. The last thing you want to give a quarterback who's struggling some confidence. The number one thing you can do is hurry that quarterback, scramble him, and put him on his ass. Not just give him time to sit back there and play an elevated game of catch with his wide receivers and his tight ends and his running backs. You don't do that shit. And I'm going to tell you something. Clemson just ain't going to roll over, right? There's a lot of pride up there. And Dabo doesn't like Florida State. I think he hates Florida State. You think they not cooking up something up there for Florida State? You think that they are ready to relinquish the stranglehold they've had on the conference for God knows how many years now? They not. He worked really hard, and they were really patient for him to get to where he is. He's not just going to roll over and give it to Florida State. Florida State is going to have to go in there and take it. The team I saw Saturday ain't going in nowhere and taking shit. The offense is not playing complementary football to the defense. The defense is not playing complementary football for the offense. And I can't understand it for the life of me. Florida State stopped playing after they went up 31-10. 31-10, 31-10. They stopped playing. The coaches stopped coaching, right? They weren't as aggressive as they needed to be. You could see it on the sideline. You saw it in the play calling. You saw it in the execution of the plays. They took their foot off the brakes. They should have punished. After that score was 31-10, I would have dialed up more blitzes. I'd have got that football right back to my offense. And if I'm Mike Norvell, you finna have to find a way to stop this, because I'm going to give you an array of plays to my playmakers, not the guys who were second and third on the goddamn depth chart. Explain Keon Coleman's targets. Somebody, please. And I keep talking about expectations. Some of this shit that I saw, it made me wonder is Jordan Travis playing football, or is he trying to win the Heisman? They accused Jameis of that in 2014, trying to make Heisman winning throws. Some of it was fair, some of it wasn't. But looking at Travis, even last week, what are you doing? Right? Like, why would you throw this here with this down in distance? Why would you do that? Who the hell are you trying to impress? Heisman voters? This ain't the time for that, buddy. Take what they give you. That defense didn't need to look that goddamn good. It didn't. They went on a goddamn basketball run. What they scored, like 18 unanswered points or some shit? I don't remember what the number was, but it shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. Best part about all this is it's an easy fix. And you have the horses to fix it. And I had so much confidence in Mike Norvell leading it, headed up to this game. I still do. I still think he's going to fix it. Because it's not like they just did a terrible, I'm lying, I think all things considered with expectations, they did do a terrible job. Because I don't want to say they laid a donut, but God damn it, they came really close. I'm sorry, I don't want to say they laid an egg, but they came really close because they only play good in pockets. They only play good in spurts. And that's both sides of the ball. That team just did dumb shit. They did shit that's not who we've been accustomed to over the past few weeks, and they did shit that we didn't expect them to do based off the level of football they had played. You can't take days off in this profession. In this sport, it's not a profession. Yeah, it is. Everybody getting paid now. You can't take days off in this profession. You can't. Not when you were trying to accomplish what you were trying to accomplish, because nobody's going to go anywhere and give you any fucking thing. Duke looks better. Florida looks better. Miami looks better. Wake Forest looks like trash. Pittsburgh looked like trash too. Yet and still, it's still the ACC, because Boston College looked like trash when we went into Boston College, and we got out of there by the skin of our teeth. As a matter of fact, fuck climb. I don't want to hear climb no more. The new mantra should be all gas, no brakes. Punish these goddamn teams, because you have the tools necessary to do it. I think Florida State can play good enough in man, enough for you to call up and dial up exotic blitzes and all this other shit. They are good enough to do it, not for an entire game, but definitely more than what you have been doing it. Punish these damn teams. You definitely have the weapons on offense to make a defense wave the white flag. You know what? I have had enough. That's what LSU did. They waved the white flag. Please put a running clock on this shit. Get me the fuck out of Orlando. Fuck, I don't want to hear climb no more. All gas, no brakes. You don't take your foot off the pedal until the gas runs out. That's how good this football team can be. That's why a lot of people like myself were so goddamn frustrated when they saw what they saw Saturday. You don't take any days off. You don't take any quarters off. God damn it, you don't take any plays off. Be smart about this shit. You want your players to be smart? You be smart. Stop subbing everybody in every 3 plays, man. Shit. They'll get their time to shine. They'll get their time to shine when the score is 38-0 in the second quarter. Then you put the motherfuckers out there. Jimbo was great at that. Jimbo used the guys he needed to use to get big wins and, big leads when the big leads got out there. Okay, now y'all can get out there and play around and fuck up and turn over the ball and run the ball into the fucking ground and play every motherfucking well. Yeah, that's when you do that shit. Not now. Get it together. Because you top 5 team. There's a target on your back. And there are teams out there that think that there's blood in the moor and they want to seek their teeth in you. You are going to get everybody's best shot because now it's time for me to make a name for myself. Now it's time for me to show that Florida State isn't this good. You show them. Not only are we that good, we are just that much better than you. That's all the time I'm giving you. That's all the time I got. As always, you can reach me on Twitter at the Hot Seat 19, and you can reach me on Instagram at the Hot Seat 19. If you hit play on this video, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate your time. Thank you. I'll see y'all next week, and goddamn it, maybe I'll be more excited. Y'all be good. You are officially off the Hot Seat.